Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We gotta get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready to work? You ready to work? All right, then let's see it.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Set. 319. Hot. Now let's go. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Here we go now. Here we go now. 319. Here we go now. Here we go
This is
now.
it. We are going for gold.
All right, here we go. No. 319. Patriot. 319. Hurry up, Detroit. 319. Hot.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Freeman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Kelly now going to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And Cook has it left side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Here's Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Brandon Marshall. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Carr gives to Marshawn. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal, and I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing now is Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Shane Ray in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So the Broncos coming out now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a 1st down throw. Kelly. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're buried deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this, until it becomes a game situation.
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Kelly off the bootleg. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Kelly gonna throw on 3rd and goal. Blitz coming, and down he goes. To here Whitehead with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring and moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And complete right side to Cook. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Carr looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Kelly. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Kelly. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Play action, it's Kelly. And he finds the rookie from Penn State. That's Deshaun Hamilton. That one goes for 24 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Tank Carradine in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Detroit! Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Gun!
A play fake, now Kelly. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Kelly eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Roberts with it over the middle. He's at the 30, 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Seth Roberts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. The extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They go play action here on first down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here. So we've hit halftime. And now due to apparent time constraint. Two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. The All-Pro Von Miller there defensively.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw is Kelly. Off play action. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Kelly to throw. He's going to rifle. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Raider 2. 29.
Here's Carr to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things ahead.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out before he knew it. He had hit the sideline.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Kelly to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A huge play there for Denver. 63 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Kelly now looking to throw on 2nd down. Pass incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Kelly to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And this is Cook with a grab. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you put in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd down, Kelly. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at
Here's Kelly to throw on 3rd down. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lynch. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on third down. Carr. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A second down carry for Booker. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Freeman, and he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Here's Freeman, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Kelly to throw on second down. And he fires one incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
On third down, that's Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Carr now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Marshall coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, here's Carr. Over the middle to Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Now Carr. It's caught. Nelson. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's starting to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Lynch. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw is Kelly from the gun on 3rd down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Carr, got to have this one. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And Freeman lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so...
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a
that's
little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big